sir. I'm just
Hey,
looking.
hey, good morning, and welcome to another episode of the Fueled Life Podcast. And my host is ready as usual. I love it. I love it. And this is about having a fueled life. And one of the things that I want to start off with today is I want to ask you, what is the first thing that you do? What if the first thing that you actually grab to hydrate your body actually gave you the power to rewire your energy, your metabolism, your digestion, and set you up for success for the rest of the day? Would you still reach for that coffee the first thing? I want to let that sit for just a moment. And Charlie, we are into this habit. We roll ourselves out of bed, we go through a routine, and we do it habitually. And most of the time, we don't even think about what we're doing. And we've talked about this before, is that we become so pre-programmed into doing things that we forgot if we shampooed our hair or if we, brushed our teeth and we had to do that little quick breath. Oh, did I brush my teeth? Oh yeah, I still smell the mint. And what happens when we grab that drink that our body's already dehydrated from the night? And a lot of people will lose about a pound in their sleep, which is amazing, but it's moisture that you're losing. And now you go and you grab that drink, and maybe it's not doing what you think that it was intended, or your intention of it to do was. What do you think about that?
Well, I would never have thought about that.
Right.
Because why would I? No one's ever challenged my thinking about that.
Right.
No one's ever spun that to me. And I would say, I don't understand. I get up, I zombify walk, unconsciously for the most part.
Right.
And because the coffee's there, and pour a large one and start drinking it and go good. And, Stanley, the dehydration and all the body repairing and all that, that's important. But I'm drinking coffee. It has caffeine and it's doing something. So it's masking that I'm dehydrated because now it's triggering that energy. So I think I'm good to go.
Yeah. Coffee is a diuretic. So our bodies are already depleted of its natural hydration through the night. That's why we want to drink something first thing. And people will often go for that cup of Gojo before they cleanse their body. Your body's detoxifying itself throughout the night. And now you're already being depleted, and you go and you flush it down the sewage system, and then you go and you add something that's not really fuel, but it's a mask, like you said. And we think that we're doing something that's good for us, but we're actually missing the mark, and we're actually causing greater harm and greater dehydration by drinking coffee instead of a glass of water with lemon in it, some cinnamon, and taking your vitamins. If you're taking your vitamins with your coffee, your vitamins really need good hydration to do their work. And if you're taking them with your coffee, you're defeating much of your purpose, the intended purpose.
That's like getting up with a hangover and taking your Advil with a beer. So
exactly.
Okay, so you've challenged, and I was challenged years ago. Like, there's nothing wrong with coffee. Go ahead, get a high quality organic. Obviously, if you don't put sugar in it, and don't put creams and things in it. Drink it black. Oh, well, okay. So there's nothing wrong, but out of the gate isn't the best solution, isn't the best use of coffee. So,
Right.
And I learned that, and I thought, I am unconsciously just going to the coffee because that's what people do. And I'm one of those people. So why not? I'm going to introduce a large 12 ounces of freshly squeezed lemon water. And I'm going to just squeeze the lemon, I cut up a bunch at the beginning of the week, store them in the fridge, and I have a lemon squeezer and squeeze it in. And, when I got started, I would forget, like, oh, yeah, I'm doing lemon. And then over time, Stanley, that's my go-to.
Right.
My very first coach asked me, what gets you out of bed in the morning? And I said, I've got to go to the bathroom. and and he was not expecting that answer. Like, is there some vision or a passion, or am I excited to go at the day? Not at all. I've got to go to the bathroom. and, and now I think about, I actually look forward to that because I go from the lemon water to a meditation, but I drink the whole thing and I don't even think about coffee. Now, I'm not nothing, but I formed a new habit. That's all it was.
Right.
It's not because of my will. It's not because I'm smarter. It's not because I'm lucky. It's because I changed out something. I just stopped doing and replaced with. So we talk a lot in here about the fueled life. Well, it's easy. There's a lot. We're not asking you to reinvent the wheel or redesign your whole day. And no, we're just saying, just stop, reflect for a minute, say, let's see what happens. Let me have a glass of lemon water in the morning and wait an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe go do something, do a little exercise, a meditation, do a little, anything but looking at social and things like that, just to help ground yourself better. And then go make some coffee.
Yeah. It's not, and like you said, it's not to restrict you from experiencing it or enjoying these other things. But when we know the reason that we're doing something and we know the purpose behind that reason, when we have it established and create this pattern and a different pattern to set yourself up for success, first thing, it's drinking that lemon water. And I want to say, drink it room temperature, because your body doesn't have to worry about heating it up. It goes in and it actually is able to flush and detoxify. As your body has been detoxifying through the night, through your sleep, that lemon water just kickstarts your day and just helps things get going and opens up on a cellular level your ability to absorb now your vitamins and your supplements and enjoy your coffee. I'm not saying take away your coffee. I'm just saying, if you just change your routine, and I'm going to challenge people, and I'm going to mention it right now. I want to challenge people for the next 7 days to just give this a try. Hey, you can always go back to doing what you always did, but give it 7 days to kind of monitor and kind of measure what it is that you wanted to do. It's just like, hey, if you want to be a loser, try a winning circle for 7 days. If you don't like being a winner and you want to go back to being a loser, you have nothing to lose. You can go back to being a loser. And I'm not saying you're a loser if you don't do this. All I'm saying is that, hey, if you decide at 7 days that you haven't noticed a difference, then go back the other way. That may be best for you. I would venture to challenge that thought, but it's one of those benefits that takes place. So today we're going to be talking about lemon water and what we're doing now, and then Ceylon cinnamon. And there's a major difference between a lot of the I think it's cassia cinnamons, the standard cinnamon that you find in the store. It's junk. Let me tell you, it's junk. It's loaded with metals. It's got lead. It's got curcumin in it, not curcumin, but curcumin, and it's toxic to your liver. It's toxic to your kidneys. And then we're going to be talking about ZenBasil. And Charlie, you have got me so intrigued by ZenBasil. It's one thing that I have not added to my routine, but you keep talking about it, and it is definitely on my radar. When I make some room in my shelves from all my other stuff, I'm going to get me some ZenBasil.
Mm. Cool. So Stanley, I am, drinking lemon water didn't do okay. So maybe I noticed that I'm more hydrated. So my skin, my lips didn't get as chapped, whatever. I don't, I can't really put my finger like, whoa, I feel great. No. I got more of a punch out of coffee in the morning than I do out of lemon or water. But when I had blood work done, my liver enzymes and everything were through the roof healthy. And of course, the doctor doesn't know if I don't have good numbers there. One of the best ways to flush and keep your liver cleaner and working better is lemon water and cinnamon and other things. But lemon water is profound for that. Now, I didn't have a liver issue, but in this past December, she's like, your liver function is just superb. And my numbers were really good. Now, it's not torture. It wasn't hard. It was changing out a few things and replacing with something healthier. And I think I learned cinnamon from you, a while back. And sometimes, Stanley, I don't need to know everything. If it comes from somebody like you, somebody I trust, I know is living a healthy life, and they say, start using this kind of cinnamon. And, if you can't do it once a day, you can mix it in your smoothie. You can throw it on this. You can do things. But here's why, because it's going to benefit your blah. Now, I don't need to go do all sorts of research. I trust that. Right. And then I start doing it. Is it hard? Does it involve measuring cups and all this process? No, it's simple.
Right. Yeah. And, that's it, Charlie. It is taking these simple additives. Okay. So we trade out quality for a lack of quality. And just because you can buy cinnamon on the shelf, it's not the cinnamon that you think. So you read all the benefits of what cinnamon can do for you and adding to the flavor of your food. But if it's harming your body, I will say this over and over and over. Our cheapest food is our most expensive food. And just take a inventory of how often do you regularly use cinnamon? If you could just bump up the product, spend a little bit more, but have a high quality product, and it lasts you and it does more for your body than the other, why wouldn't you want to? Now, I put cinnamon in my daily smoothie, daily. So I'm putting about a tablespoon of cinnamon into a 30-ounce smoothie. I've got blueberries, I've got protein powder, and it's a high quality protein powder. Doesn't have any lead, doesn't have any metals in it. It's third-party tested. But I add that, and I know that my body is getting energized, and it is energized without adding a whole bunch of elements.
Yeah. Simple.
Yeah.
And if you don't do a smoothie, well, if you do a steel cut organic healthy oats in the morning, sprinkle it on that. Obviously, we don't do cereal. I mean, we don't recommend it or anything for a fueled life. So if you do eggs, I don't know if that would be the best on eggs.
I've never had cinnamon on eggs.
Right. So, but the difference is this cinnamon is a true spice. What the cinnamon Stanley's talking about in the stores that come in plastic, it's loaded with sugar too.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't. I mean, real cinnamon, if you go too heavy, it's like, woo, it's the real deal. But the stuff that's masked with sugar, that's yummy. So you can put it on your oatmeal and it would then taste like sugar meal, with some cinnamon. I mean, I noticed that. I remember introducing this to a family member and they're like, well, why would I ever switch? I've been doing this one for years. Well, this one is toxic. It's full, people don't want to hear that. So you say, well, sometimes some of the companies make things that are, they do it because it's inexpensive. It's a quick process. They strip away the nutrients, they add sugar and blah, blah, blah. And so I to try that, and ew, but this is disgusting. It doesn't have sugar. But if you mix it in with the right things, Stanley, right? It's not like bitter or tart or whatever that is. Like, when I first started drinking black coffee, I used to drink it with sugar. And many, 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 many years ago, I stopped. But if I take a sip of coffee with sugar, ugh.
Yeah.
But I love, don't get me wrong, I like things with sugar. But coffee with sugar, my body, my brain is like, no more.
Right.
If I miss a lemon water in the morning, I'm like, oh, and I don't anymore. I don't miss it. Except when I traveled a lot, it was like, do I bring one of those organic little, I was trying to figure out how to continue my practice.
Right. Well, you talk about the lemon water, and I shared this with a lady in town here about maybe 3 weeks ago. And I told her about, drinking and getting hydrated, because she said, I always feel dehydrated. And she said, I'm drinking a lot of water and I just feel dehydrated. And I said, why don't you start your day with a half a lemon squeezed into a 12-ounce glass of water? And she did it the first day. She noticed her energy level was off the charts. And she kind of thought that was just like a fluke. And 3 days later, she sent me a text and she told me, the first day I thought it was kind of like just a fluke. It was in my mind, but my energy level changed. And I noticed that. I thought, well, maybe I'm just having a really good day. And then I'm in day 3. And she said, I will not stop because it has changed my energy. And she said, it also feels like it reduced some of the inflammation that was in my body. And I said, yes, bingo, you're right on. But see, I don't tell people everything. I allow them to experience it and then share their reflection, so that I'm not leading them into, but I'm going to share some of the benefits that I have. And here again, it is about having a fuel life and kickstarting your day in the right manner to set you up for success instead of struggle. They're both in the S category, but one is tougher and the other one is more enjoyable. Success versus struggle. Drink coffee first thing, you're going to have some struggles because you're going to constantly be going to it, and then you're going to be dehydrated. So, and the cinnamon, I want to bring it up again. Ceylon Cinnamon.
How do you spell that?
Ceylon. Ceylon Cinnamon. It is organic. It is clean. It's third-party tested. Doesn't have the contaminants that your normal cinnamon on the shelf does. Why do you think that they can sell this much cinnamon for $5? Okay, that should be the first indicator. Okay, and it's just like the fuel that you put in your vehicle. The lower the octane, honestly, it's got ethanol in it, and that's not going to run well on certain engines. It's not going to run at its peak performance. You want your body running better than your vehicle. So, Ceylon Cinnamon, lemon water. And then I want to talk about this product that you've been using, Charlie, ZenBasil. Yeah. Organic Basil Seeds. And this is a powerhouse of the seeds, and it is double in just about anything. Yeah. Can barely see that. Yeah, it's a nice dark consistency.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
I'm glad I didn't pour them all over the floor.
Tell me about your experience with it, Charlie. When you shifted and you went to this ZenBasil, tell me about that.
I used to take a chia seed.
Okay.
And then, the omega-3s, and it had this, that, and it helped with aging, and it had fiber. And then I read a book, and, the book just talked about the power of using this in the author's life and what it did. And I said, well, I kind of believe it. I don't know. I've got to, like you said, I need to experience this for myself, but I trust this author. So I then purchased, and I started First, I just put a little water and a little too much, and then you wait a little bit, and it expands. As in, those little, I don't know what they were. The kids used to get them. They were these little, like fish, and you put it in water and it grows.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, not like a chia, chia, that little chia pet. But anyway, it's a hard seed that once hits liquids, it starts to expand, and it's wonderful what it does for us. But now Zen Basil has double the amount of fiber than like a chia seed. Now, and one of the biggest things, one of the studies is Americans, we are very low on fiber. And why is fiber so good? Well, gut health. Oh my gosh, feeding the good bacteria, digestion, and so I mean, there's so many benefits to this and basil that, and I didn't even know, Miles Stanley. I heard the fiber. I knew I needed up that. I wanted better gut health. I've been focusing for my field life on gut health, liver health, brain health. And by focusing on them, all my other organs, my muscles, my calcium, the bones, all that kind of comes along. And then I learn, as I investigate and start taking this in basil, that my digestion is much better. It's really cool because I can have at lunch half an avocado, maybe a hard-boiled egg, and some Zen basil. I can go 4 or 5 hours without eating a lot. It's like, because it satisfies the system, and the system doesn't, I'm not spiking, I'm not dropping, I'm just nice. So do you have, I didn't know if you had some of that information on this on your screen.
I don't have it on my screen. I wasn't,
well, I can't remember all the benefits, but let me show you we use yucca, Stanley and I, all the time. And, and they tell you the facts of the food. Right. And here is, I don't know if you guys can see that, but
can't really read it, but it's 100 out of 100.
That's the Yucca app. Scanning just before we went live, I scanned the barcode, and 100 out of 100. Excellent. Vegan, keto. It has loaded with calcium. It's loaded with fiber. It's loaded with potassium. I mean, this Zen basil alone is amazing. Now, you can sprinkle it in your eggs. You can sprinkle it in your smoothie. Okay. You can just put it in water and wait 3 to 5 minutes and eat it with a spoon. It doesn't have a taste, really. It's a little weird feeling in the mouth. You can put it in. I drink Athletic Greens, and I put it in there, and I shake it up, and then I drink it down at 3. Because if you wait too long, it keeps growing and thickens up. And you want that process to happen in your body.
Okay. So you're talking about a satisfying feeling. So how many of our listeners, and for those that are watching on FaceTime or YouTube, whatever, FaceTime,
family.
You can tell my technology is right up there with Mark. Who is that? Anyway, but satisfying. So how many times have you ate something, had a meal, and then you're like, just didn't satisfy, didn't fill me, didn't give me the feeling like I had something with consistency. What you're talking about, as this expands, so it's not something that you just want to free pour into your dish. Measure it out. What is it? 2 tablespoons? Is that what the measurement is? 2 That's tablespoons into your pudding, into your yogurt, whatever. They've got all kinds of recipes. I saw that. I went to the website, and I'm just blown away by it. And like I said, it's going to be something that I add into. And here again, it's not restricting you. It's just replacing something that's not beneficial for you to create something that is beneficial for you. And this ZenBasil packs twice the power of chia seed. Now, that's, chia gets a lot of publicity, but ZenBasil, it's like this gold mine that you're standing on top of, and you don't even realize that you're standing on top of this gold mine. You're rich. And until you do a little research, you don't discover how rich you really are. And that's what ZenBasil is proven to do.
Yeah. And Stanley, I think it's, this bag, it lasts 2 tablespoons a day. It lasts a long time. And I think it was $18 on Amazon. You could buy it direct from this website. They have special, it's crazy. If you can't afford all the high-end organic this and pasture raised and, and you got to buy some things due to a budget, you add this in, you are reaping massive benefits in your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your osteoporosis, whatever, all that arthritis is and inflammation. This thing almost ensures that you're not going to have that, or it'll reduce it. And then, it also helps oxygen in the blood. It carries it through. And, I know you do a lot of breath work and the power of oxygen. And this is just an aid to that. And we're not even affiliates.
Right.
So whether you buy it or not, that's on you. We don't make money because of this. I don't make money from yucca. I don't make money from the lemon gods. We just want to share experience and help you have a fueled life. Stanley, and I do want to say something about gas, fuel for your car. I don't know if people know, but there's tier one gas stations. So that's going to be mobile. That's going to be the Sunoco. So those, you might pay a little more, but you'll notice, you got to look, they're tier 1. What does that mean? It's a top shelf fuel. So when they go down to fill their tankers, there's a couple of different tanks. There's the Stop and Shop, whatever those Mart Center gases that are less money. And they are terrible. They don't last long in the car and all that. Now, they're great in a pinch, obviously. But you want to look for tier 1. You want to find those types of stations, because not only does your lawn equipment, your weed whackers, your everything appreciates it more. And that's what we're telling you. Like ZenBasil is tier 1. Lemon is tier 1. If you just start replacing some of the lower grade things with some of these high grade, your body, mind, spirit, soul, attitude, if your depression, your dryness of skin, all these things start to improve. And it's miracle. It's magical, actually.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I want to say it was about 3.5 years ago that I had a client, and we were talking about, she was concerned with her triglycerides being high. And immediately I just said, are you adding cinnamon into your daily diet, your nutrition? And she's like, no, I never heard of adding that for that. And lo and behold, added the cinnamon, and guess what happened? Triglycerides went down. Okay. This can help. It helps with blood circulation. And it can also help with type 2 diabetes. So these are simple things that you can do. And I don't know, the last time I went to the doctor, I think it was like $200 to go in and you talk for 5 minutes. Look, take this information and save yourself one visit to find out what all is going wrong, and start adding things that can make it go right, and then go in and find out how much better you are doing, experiencing. And like you said, Charlie, you can't see all of these benefits, but you can definitely feel them. So I don't need to get academic on people. All I can say is that I applied it to my life. I share it with other people, and I wait for their response. And when people tell me, I ask people, I say, how are you staying hydrated? And they'll say, well, I'm drinking a lot of water. And I say, how's that working? Well, I'm constantly thirsty. So apparently there's something more that you could add. And one of the things that I do, and we're not talking about this too much today, but adding um, uh, sea salt, and the brand that I use is either the Celtic sea salt or the Baja Gold sea salt. All salts are not the same. They're not equal. So here again, what I put on my body, what I put in my body gives me the fueled life. And having Ceylon cinnamon, having ZenBasil, having lemon in my water. I mean, an organic lemon is like $1.49. Okay. So cut it in half. That's 75 cents. 75 cents to kickstart your day. Who wouldn't give that? 3/4. I mean, really?
What are you talking about? I got him for 67 cents.
Oh, my organic lemons cost me $1.47.
Oh, well, you must be going to those high end. You can find, or well, whatever.
Yeah.
You can find them at the lower price stores, and they actually are having more and more organic. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that. And if you can't afford the organic, I don't like to say it that way, but if the organic's not in your budget, then get the other ones. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it, because they have a where you don't want to buy things that are like spinach and any leafy thing that could be sprayed, but something like a banana and things with shells are it's a better option for non-organic. Not I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I mean, that is the research. That's not me coming up with it. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I mean, Stanley, that's where we could park this, because I'm I love this that we talk about a fueled life. And what happens when the momentum of lemon water kicks in and you find out how long does it take to form a habit? You'll find out.
Right.
Because there's so many different things you can hear. Oh, 14 days, 21 days, 60 days, 98 days. Who cares? The bottom line is, when you are standing there and you find yourself putting water in and you're like, oh, I'm about ready to drink lemon water. I didn't even have to plan it. It's happening.
Right.
Then you know. And that's that. And then you add in cinnamon, or you do them both at the same, whatever. I'm not saying put cinnamon and lemon in. And then, and then you add 2 tablespoons of ZenBasil for $18.
Right.
I mean, and then ride that out. And you're going to notice the fuel is already a part of who you are, and you're activating it.
Exactly. And, I want to challenge people to do this for 7 days. And here's the thing. If you try it, nothing works, you have nothing to lose. You can go back to doing the old way. But I say, if you try it and you actually implement it, and I'm not saying give up your coffee even. I'm just saying, for the next 7 days, drink a lemon water. First thing, room temperature, not ice, not cold. Allow that room temperature water to go into your body and help flush what your body has loosened up. And lemon, it's a kickstart. Like it starts to peel the stuff away from your insides, and it makes for better absorption of the nutrients that you're going to bring in later on in the day. So you've got nothing to lose by implementing this for the next 7 days. If you're running on empty, give it a try. This isn't about giving out anything up. So that's really where I want to encourage people, Charlie. And, here again, it's one of those things like you and I have talked about. I didn't know until I knew. And once you know, you can't unknow. You can't unhear what we just shared. That's it.
Yeah. So if you see some value, we'd love to hear on the next podcast in the comments. If you want to share this, please share it. You want to like, subscribe, and be a part of the Fueled Life. Join us. We're having fun doing it. If you got ideas, you want us to look into anything, you want to know, do we do spin in place for 5 minutes a day? Is that helpful? That's how we explore, we experience, and we share.
That's it. That's it. All right. Until we meet the next time, be outstanding. Have a fueled